So let's wait for 2 more minutes, okay, to join remind people. Okay. So you're able to hear me, right? Hello?
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Yes.
Yeah, okay, cool. Okay, thank you. Okay. Let's wait for 2 minutes, okay, we'll start.
Hi Rakesh, good evening. Yesterday I did not attend your class, so will it be fine?
I told some basic commands, okay. So how to create directories, how to create files, how to delete them, how to go inside to that, how to come out of that files, how to save files, these things, like very basic things I told. So you can take the video from the Durgasoft people, okay. It like very basic I told yesterday. Okay, once you
Okay,
can go through, if you feel some difficulty, let me know. Okay, I can help you.
sure. Okay, sure. So completely focusing on AWS, right?
No. Currently, we are going with Linux completely. Okay. So once Linux is completed, then we'll plan for next one. Okay. This will be like five days.
Okay. Yeah, thank you.
Okay. So still people are joining. Okay. We'll wait for 1 more minute.
So can you show the actual course content? So meanwhile, what are the target for the course and which areas we are mainly focusing and where we are 60% are spending and the majority. So
See, for course content, a simple thing. So first we'll go with a Linux. Okay. So then we'll go for AWS. So in AWS, I'm going to tell you like about all the solution architect topics which we had. Okay. So after that, coming to DevOps. Okay, I'll tell you about Git. Okay, Jenkins, then Docker. So then Kubernetes. Okay. So then Ansible. Then Terraform.
okay, so for the Jenkins basic level or the like admin level, are we planning to cover?
So here we don't have any admin level or some basic level in Git. Okay, we'll have few commands. So hardly we'll have like 10 to
Jenkins,
15.
not get Jenkins level. I mean DevOps perspective. I'm asking.
So I'll show you the CI/CD process, total process. So admin level also what you do, and at the same time, like if you get somebody like how to configure from the end to end. Simply, if you click on a build, okay, if you click on a job, how to get the data from source code. After that, how to do the builds and how to take that build into a particular server and how to deploy there and how to restart the service and how to see the page. So all the things, all are the manual steps they do in the market. Okay, developers or somebody else. Okay, all those things, like how to automate. Generally, if they want to do the same thing like manually, generally it will take like 45 to 50 minutes to them to all the things. So using this build, only one time configuration, just click and sit. Within 15-20 minutes it will complete the build. They can see other tasks. And coming to administration also, how to create the users in Jenkins and how to give access to them. Okay, all this part I'll cover. Okay, both the things will be there, not only one.
Okay,
Okay.
in line. Are we planning to start or are we
Yeah,
line in Linux
yeah.
actually? So what are the like Linux in AWS? Are you planning to take it or the independent the Linux machine?
AWS missions.
Okay,
Yeah.
thank you.
Okay. Okay, guys, let's start. Okay. So you're able to see my screen? I guess yes, right?
Yes,
Okay.
we can able to see.
Okay. So let me quickly launch a server. Okay. Already you know how to launch and how to log in. Only difference between you and me was I'm using my Mac laptop to log into the server, and you are using your putty, which are who are using like Windows machines. Okay, Windows laptops. You use your putty to log into the servers. Okay. Give me 1 second. I'll share my screen again. Okay. Password. Okay, got it.
But we don't have a AWS access. So do we get any AWS temporary user kind of privileges?
No, you can create your account. So if you take the if you take the videos from Durgasoft, the Friday's video and yesterday's video, in the Friday's
Okay.
video, so I told like how to create an AWS account, how to set up that, okay, and how to launch a server and how to log into that. So that's what I covered in the first class of Friday's class. Next day's
Okay,
class,
like
basic thing, like
licensed
basic how
based
to.
one, right? Licensed based one, right?
Here you don't have any license or something else. That is completely
Okay.
pure line. Okay, at the time we used to bring the licenses and doing a lot of nonsense. Here AWS will take care of everything else. You no need to worry about anything else. Okay, you no need to worry about anything. You are able to see my screen now.
Yeah, we can able to see the screen.
Okay, you no need to take care of any licenses or anything else. So everything else AWS will take care of, and he will talk to the particular those teams, and they will only do all the actions. Okay, so I'm launching a basic server. Okay. You must go through that like first class and second class, you'll get more clarity. Okay, this is server what I created now. It's in pending state. If you wait for 1 minute, it'll come into running state. Then only you can log in. Otherwise, you cannot log in. Okay, it's in running state. Now copy the public IP address here. In details, you can see the public IP address. Copy it here. Okay, so I'm using my terminal here. Okay, for Mac and for Mac people, and for Windows, what is this a difference? Only logging to the server was different. I use because Mac and Linux flavors are both the same, both are like same flavors. Okay, same related OSs. So that no need of Putty or any like third-party tool to log in. Okay, so that I can log in directly here. So this is the way how I log in. SSH-I and what key used. Okay, what while launching the server we use a key, right? So that key is there with me. This is the key what I use to log in to launch the server, and then the username. The server's username is, you click on here connect, you can see it here. This is the username ec2-user. Okay, so ec2-user @ and the IP address. So this is a public IP address. We should use a public IP address. Copy it and give it and enter. You will get a message here like this. For the first time, when you create any server for the first time, you will get this message like this. Okay, if you type yes and enter, for next time again it won't ask you that message. Any new server, first time you are logging into that for first time from your laptop, it will ask you that message. Once if you log into that, again it won't ask you that message again and again if you use the same server. Okay, for every new server it will ask you, right?
This is Mac OS
So
only
as
or
we
Windows
discussed,
OS?
any Windows also, it will show you pop up, right? Yes, no, something. You are clicking on yes. When you give username and if you give enter, it will show
Yes,
you a
correct.
pop-up icon saying that yes or no. You are clicking on yes. Same thing here also, but it is showing me different behavior.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah. Now I am inside the server. So to log into the server, I use an user called ec2-user. Using this user, I log into the server, right? So this is a normal user. Okay. For this, it won't have all the permissions to do. So that I'm switching from normal user to root user. To switch, the command is sudo space -i and enter. So you will switch from normal user to root user. And root is like superior, he can do anything else. He's the boss of the server. Okay, so he won't allow us like they won't stop us anywhere like for permission issues or something else. So that for practicing people, it will be helpful to you if you come to root user. Okay, now in today's class, what we'll discuss means how many types of users we have in Linux. Okay, what are they, and how to create different users in servers, how to create them. Okay, so that topic we'll cover today. Okay, so normally in servers we have like three types of users. One is normal user. Okay, so second one is system user. Okay, so normal user, system user, and the last one is super user. Okay, so total like three types of users. So what is super user? Who is super user? So super user is called as root. Root is called as super user. He can do like anything else. Okay, but how system? How? Because you and me had some names, right? So if you call with name Rakesh or something, I'll respond. Same like that. How Linux machine can understand? How Linux machine can understand? It's a root user. They can understand by using only number format. Okay, only number format they can understand. But by seeing that root, we can know that it's a root user. But system, the mechanism was in the backend was with the number format. So the number is 0 for root user. Okay, we had like something called users and groups. Okay, after groups we'll talk about later. Okay, so for groups and for users and groups also, the number will be like 0. Okay, for root user the number is 0. If you see 0, you can also identify saying that it is a root user. Next one is system user. What is system user? For example, if you install any package, nothing but a software. Okay, if you install any software inside this particular server, you install something else. When you install something, automatically one user will be created automatically inside the server. So you're not creating yourself, you're installing something else. We're installing something else, one user will create automatically. All such type of users are called as system users, okay, which were created automatically while the package is installing. How can you identify which is a system user? By seeing that user, we should identify. So what type of user it is? How do you identify? Okay, how we identify means system users will start with 1 to 499. Okay, the users numbers will start from 1 to 499. So any user ID you see 1, 2, 3 until like 499, that means those users are all system users. All are like system users. Next, normal users. So normal users means the users which we create ourselves for our purpose to log into the servers, to give access to like different people. We create some users inside the server. Okay, those are called as normal users. How to identify? By seeing the name of the user. Okay, by seeing that, how do you identify it's a normal user? The number is from 500 to, okay, 6000. So that means in a single server you can create like 5500 users in a single server. Means those many people can log into the server and they can do some action on a single server. Multiple users can log into the server and they can do like multiple things. Okay, so clear about the users list and these things. If you are okay, we'll go for practical. I'll show you there. Okay, any doubts here? No, right? Okay. Okay. So
Hi.
already, yes.
Yeah. So you said like a system user, normal user, and a root user.
So
Right.
super. Yeah.
Yeah. Super user. Yeah.
Yes.
So what is the numbering for normal user for 500 from 500 to 6000? It will start right
Yes. It will pick randomly. Others while creating, you can
in
also
between.
give your number.
Okay. It will pick randomly in between from
Yes.
500 to 6000.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Clear. Thank you.
Yeah. I'll show you now. You'll understand. Okay.
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 If we
So in
create
any
more
server,
than if we create more
yes.
than 5,000 users, so there is a limitation for 5,000 users, right? For normal users, Rakesh sir?
Generally, we don't have those many people to log in. Nowhere we log in. So till now I didn't heard like we created 500 users to log into the server. For 500 users, if you are logging into the server, so how much big the company should be there? General, just imagine. Just they had designed like that, but till now nobody use it like that. Okay, we don't get a chance to. Okay. Okay then, yeah. So inside this server, not in this server, any server, take like it's a cloud server or like on-premises servers. On-premises means the servers which you see like in visual, like in front of you, those are on-premises servers. Okay, which we bring and assemble and everything, those things. Now, in those every server, you will have a file called /etc. Okay, you had a file called /etc. So that file will contain all the configuration information of the server. Not only this server, any server, that file will be there. That file will contain the configuration information. So configuration information means all sensitive data, all the important files, all important things, everything else will have inside that file. Okay, so yesterday I told you how to go inside that files, right? The command is cd /etc. If you give like this and enter, you will go inside to this etc directory. And yesterday I told you how to check the directory where you are inside the server. Windows means if you go to my computer, my documents, on top of that it will show you in which directory you are there, in which folder you are there, which file you open. But here you cannot understand where you are. So we use PWD, present working directory, where you are there inside the server, in which directory you are there, in which path you are there. Okay. Now we are in /et, and I told you how to see a list of files and directories inside a directory, inside a folder. How to check ls command. See, these many files and directories we had in this server. This is a new server which is just now I launched. Okay, so when I launch in the backend itself, they install all these things automatically. Okay, and they gave us this server. The AWS cloud gave us this server. Not only server, any server you launch, these all the things will be there inside that. Minimum software which they should maintain, right? So that minimum things will be there inside the server. Okay, so in these files, in these many files, you had a file called password. If you see here, password, highlighted file, password. This password file contains the information about the users. About the users, if you open it, so I told you to open the files vi, right? Vi space name of the file, password. Okay, two files we have here, password hyphen and password, only password file, not this hyphen file, not this. Okay, the above one, and enter. So these many users currently I have inside my server. Inside this server, currently I have these many users. Okay, you see here 0 and 0. That means it is a super user. As I told you, if you see here, super user 0 and 0. Next 1 1, 2 2, something 3 4, 4 7. These are all system users which softwares were installed automatically inside the server. Then we got these things automatically. These were installed. These users were installed automatically, created automatically. If you see in the end, EC2 hyphen user, right? Using this user only, we log in into the server, right? Using this user only, right? So that
Yes.
this user is above 500. So that means it is a normal user. When you come into this file and see, by seeing the name, we can identify. We come to this file and see, we can easily identify what user it is. See, this is that. System user is this, and not this.
Rakesh, one question, Rakesh.
Okay. Yes.
Hello. Yeah, Rakesh, just want to check.
Yes. Yes. Go ahead.
Yeah, Rakesh, just want to know, like, sometimes we come across that admin team is logging with sudo user. So what is sudo user? What is the meaning of that? That is different, or it's a root user only?
Yeah. In upcoming, you'll know. Okay. Upcoming,
Okay. Yeah.
you will know. Maybe in tomorrow's class.
Okay. No
I'll
problem.
cover everything. Don't worry. I'll cover everything else. Okay. In the
Yeah,
last
yeah,
class of
sure.
Linux, I'll ask you if you tell like, sir, Rakesh, you missed so and so. Definitely that day, what missing things are there, I'll cover. But the pseudo concept also I'll tell you. Okay. Maybe today only we may cover. We'll see. Okay.
Sure.
Okay.
No
Sir,
problem.
what is the first number and second number difference? Colon 1000.
Yeah.
So that might.
Slowly here. First number is for user ID. Second one is group ID. Okay. What is group ID? Next 15-20 minutes you will know. Okay. First one is user ID. Second one is group ID. What is user and what is group? You will know. Okay. Just 10-15 minutes. Just be there. Okay. Now, this is the file which is very sensitive. Generally, we don't edit it. We don't touch this file. Generally, if you want to log in, you log in, you see the users list, and just will come out of this file. You don't change anything else. And actually, I told you how to come out of this file, right? So escape, shift colon, okay, Q1 accelerator mark. So Q1 accelerator mark means here Q1 accelerator mark, quit and come out. So accelerator mark is something like forcefully. So forcefully come out of this file. For this file, don't use W. Okay. Sometimes when you open this file, unfortunately, maybe you may enter something else. Anything may happen sometimes. So that try to just quit this file all the time. No, don't try to save this. Okay. Don't use W. Okay. Enter. Now I came out of that file. Okay. Now let us see how to create users. Okay, how to create users. The command to create the users means user add space name of the user, any name that you want. Let me give my name, Rakesh. Enter. Okay, the user is created. Rakesh user is created. Now, how to check user is created or not? Same file. Go to this file and see. If you are able to see Rakesh, see, that means Rakesh user is created. And if you see the number, the user ID and group ID, they are like 1001. Okay, just I'm coming out of that file, escape, shift colon, Q, small letters only. Okay, Q and accelerator mark, and I came out of that file. Now you created that file, okay, or that user, okay, Rakesh user. How to give password to that user? How to set the password? The command is password only. Here password is a file. Here password is a command. Okay, password space name of the user. If you give like this and you enter, it will ask you to give the password to that user. You are setting a password to that user. So you can use capital letters and small letters. No any accelerate, no any like special characters. Okay. I give some random password. Again, it will ask you to give us. Okay. So if you get this message, okay, successfully, that means you created the password and the password both the times which you are entered, that is correct. If you give some wrong password for a second time, it won't create. Okay. How to check the password was set to the particular user or not? Password was given to the user or not? How to check? Right? Same in the same etc directory. Okay, still we are in the same directory. The same directory. Okay, you had a file called shadow. If you see here, something file called shadow. This shadow file contains the information about the password information about the users, all the information about the users list, password information. So let's go there. Shadow. Okay, not hyphen, only shadow. So enter. Now you are inside the password file. If you see here, the user was locked here. If you see for EC2 user, the password was not set here. So this field generally will have the password. The password was not given there. If you see for Rakesh user, there is a lengthy password, very big password. See here, but I did not give this much lengthy password. Just I had given like 5 characters of letters, some ABCD, or so 1 2 3 4 5 something, some random password I gave an enter, but it generated this much lengthy password. Why it generated this much lengthy password means, so today someone has joined the company. Okay, I created a user and I gave you the taxes. So tomorrow all the time you use the same username and password to log in. So you don't have any permissions to reset your password. Again, if you want to reset your password, IONI should do. You don't have access. Okay. So in that scenarios, what happens means sometimes if any hackers come into the server, unfortunately somebody hacks your server. Okay, they'll try to take users or something else, users list or something else. Okay, if we come to this file and see, they can find all the users passwords, username and passwords, and they can hack these, they can take this data. So to overcome such kind of things, Linux will Linux will encrypt the password. Linux will encrypt the password in the backend, and it will do it like this. Okay, and if you see, because for EC2 user we don't have password, we log into this user using key, not using password. To log into any server, we had 2 models. One is key based, one is password based. Okay, so key based also I'll tell you after 2 to 3 days. Okay, so this is the way how to create users and how to give passwords. Okay, and how to use them. This is the way what we do. Okay, this file is also very important. Okay, don't save anywhere, try to quit this file all the time. one letter changes, total server will be corrupted. Again, you cannot recover the things. Okay, so be very much careful. Okay, this is the way how to create users and how to give the passwords. So next concept, about groups. Okay, about groups. What is group and what's the purpose of using groups?
Sir,
Okay.
if I forgot my password, I want to reset the password, but I forgot the old password also.
Again, give the same password, same command, password space name of the user. Again, when you give the new password, it will reset the password in the backend.
Oh, okay.
Same command. Okay. But nowadays, when we come into DevOps and cloud, we are not using this concept. Okay, users concept. Previously, we should do that. Okay, we are not using this concept, but somewhere else somebody asks an interview. This will be something like a drawback to you. So that I'm telling you about this. Okay, you should know the concept. Like, first of all, if you tell like from last 5 years I'm working on Linux, if somebody asks you about this concept, your hands up. Okay, so that I'm telling you this from the roots. Okay, so next one, groups. What are groups? Okay, what's the importance of groups? For example, you had like 10 people in your company. Okay, assume that. So 10 people, 5 are like Java people, and remaining 5 are something like belongs to some other team or something. Okay, so now in that, for those 10 users, for development team, a developer generally you will give like normal access. Normal means he can log into the server, he can create a file. Okay, he can create a directory, he can write some script, and he can execute that. Except that you won't give like remaining permissions to them, like creating of users, deleting of users. You don't give extra permissions to them, because if you give extra permissions, if they don't have knowledge on that, they can do something else in the server, and we can lose some data. We are going to lose something else. So that for each and every person, we'll give some separate access. Okay, for 10, because 10 people, if you have in the company, you can give like separate access to 10 people. So Java team means, Java developer means, for 5 people will have, let's say they need like same permissions, no extra permissions. For each and every person, if you want to give permissions, okay, because 10 people you can give. So tomorrow if you have like 100 users, okay, if you have 100 users, in that 50 of them are Java developers. If you want to give like 50 accesses to 50 people, it's very difficult to you to give for each and every person. Instead of that, what we do means, we'll create a group, we'll give some permissions to the group. Okay, we'll give some permissions to the group, and what are the user you created, you will attach that user to the particular group. Simple. If you want to give like 10 permissions to the Java team, you should give like 10 permissions to the particular user for each and every user. Instead of that, to which user you attach the user, for which group you attach the user, what group is having the permissions, those permissions automatically this user will get. So no need to give any individual permissions. You can create a group, give some permissions to that, create user, add to the group, create user, add to the group. It makes you very easy work. So that we use groups. Okay, for every user, when you create any user, it will create a group, it will create a user. When you create a user, you create a group, it will create only group, not the user. Okay, as I showed you previously here, how to see the groups, right? So we had a file called groups. If you open that file, okay, so these are all groups inside this server. So see, Rakesh, it's having a group here. This is a group ID. So EC2 had a group ID. Same for root also will have. See, for each and every person will have the group. When a user is created, it will have one group also automatically. But we can create some individual group or personal group. In that personal group, how many people you want to add, you can add all the people. Okay, so now let us see how to attach them. Okay, how to create a group and how to attach people to them and how to remove the people. Okay, All those things we'll see now. First, we had only one user, right? Rakesh user. Let me create few users. Okay, user add something like demo. Okay, something demo 1 and demo 1 2. Okay, something I created 4 users. Rakesh, demo 1 and demo 1 2. Now let me create a group, and to that group let me attach these users. Okay, how to create a group? The command is group add space name of the group. Let me give something. What should I give the name of the group? Something like Durgasoft. Okay, so name of my group is called Durgasoft. So enter. So if you don't get any error when you execute a command, that means the command executed well. Okay, it done the action. Now if you want to see this group is created or not, go to vi group file. Okay, and see the group list. If you go to the end, you should be able to see. So this is the group which I created just now. Okay, I told you, like, when I create users, groups also will create. Okay, you can leave them, no problem. So now I want to attach this demo 1, demo 1 2 and Rakesh. These 4 users I want to attach to this group called Durgasoft group. When I attach those users list, you should be able to see here. After like 1005, you should be able to see the list of groups, which list of users which we created. Okay, so now let us see how to attach them. So this is also very sensitive file. Just come out of that. Okay, so the command to attach the users is gpassword space hyphen capital M, gpassword space hyphen capital M. Why hyphen capital M? Means you are adding multiple users. Okay, space which users you want to add. So I want to add demo, comma, demo 1, comma, demo 1 2, comma, Rakesh. These are the 4 users which you have with you and which you want to attach to the Durgasoft group. Then give a space here. Okay, after giving the users list, give the caps DURGASOFT. Okay, so name of the group like this, and if you enter, if you don't show any message, any warnings or something else, that means all these users were attached to this Durgasoft group. Now go to this group file and see are they attached or not. You can use up arrow. Okay, you can use up arrow to get the previous commands. Okay, when you open it and see, go to the end. So if you see here for Durgasoft, for that group, see these many users I attach. How many you want, you can attach, your wish. Okay, clear until this?
How
Any
to
doubts
we how
till now?
to how to check whether we do have a privileges to create a group or not?
Yeah, that's what, like, somebody asked me about sudo, right? So that and this will cover in the same topic. After this we should go for that only. Okay,
Okay, so groups can be created by the root user or the system user only.
yeah, that's also I'll cover. Okay, next coming was I'll talk about that only.
Okay.
Okay, so this is the way how to attach users to the groups. Okay, now tomorrow some Rakesh user left the company, so I want to remove him. Okay, I want to remove him. The command, same command we use, gpassword only, g password space hyphen small d space. Okay, name of the user, which one you want to remove, space from which group you want to remove. Okay, and enter. So if it shows you message like this, removing a user Rakesh from group Durgasoft. Now if you go to this group and see that user should not be there, go to the end. So if you see, Rakesh was removed. Previously it was there beside demo 1.2. Now it's not there because I removed it. This is the way how to remove the users, how to attach the users, okay, and how to remove a permanent user. So you can attach a single user for multiple groups. Okay, we don't have any restrictions saying that one user should add to one group. Okay, you can attach a single user to multiple groups. So if you attach for 10 groups, what permissions they have, all the permissions will be attached to the particular user. Okay, now how to delete a user? Okay, the command is user del okay, space name of the user. I want to remove Rakesh user. Enter. It is removed. User del name of user Rakesh. Now go to the file called password. The user information file is password file, right? Go to that file and see previously below this EC2 user you are able to see Rakesh user. It's not there now. Now we are able to see only demo 1 and demo 1.2 because we removed it. Okay, so like this we can add them, we can remove them. Same command for group also. Same command for group also. Group del space name of the group. See, it's removed. If you don't get any message, it is removed. Go to the VA groups and check. Go to the last and see. See, after demo 1, 2, you previously had seen Durgasoft. Now it's not there because it is removed. Okay. Now previously we discussed saying that how to create a users and groups. No, but nowhere we discussed how to give access to them, what type of permissions we want to give to him. We did not talk about those permissions, right? How to give the permissions. So those permissions also, okay, those permissions file also, it is there in the same directory /etc directory, in the same directory, in these files. You have a file called sudo ers. If you see here, sudo ers, this is the file. So this file will give you the permissions for the users and groups. Okay, inside this file you should edit and you should give the permission access. This file is very sensitive. While editing this file, you should take care a lot. If you are while entering any single line, any single command or single word, you should be very much careful. Okay, so you'll go to this file vi space sudo ers is the file name. Okay, this is the file name. You go inside to the, okay, go down like this. If you go down like this, so we will have a lot of files and informations here. In this, if you go down like this, you should be able to see a command here like this. Root allows to run any command anywhere. Okay, so this is the line. So today, if you create a user called Rakesh user, for example, okay, you want to give permissions to Rakesh user, just you will edit this file. If you want to edit it, we press I, right? As I told you, when you press I, you'll get this insert mode like this. Then only you can edit what are things you want to do, those things. Below root user, you'll give that username like this, Rakesh space. Okay, so somebody asked me like, so only root only will have access to create the users, or can we create, or else can we give permissions to other user, other few more users to work on that? Yes, we can give. So if you copy paste this one, all is equal to all, okay, below also And this also, if you give it like below, let me copy. If you copy it like this, okay, and if you give it like this, if you give like this, how root acts, same Rakesh will user also will have all the permissions to do. He will also be the superior in this server. He can also act as a superior, and he can do anything else inside the server. For this user also, we are giving all the permissions to do, or else in regularly we don't give all permissions like this. Very rare scenario. But generally, we don't use root user to do all the things. We'll create one more user like this and we'll do. Previously, we should do that. Now, when we come back to DevOps and cloud, okay, we are using normal user only, EC2 user to do everything else. Okay. But if you want to give some separate permissions, okay, we'll remove this all. Here we'll give something like, if he want to execute like only ls command, ls comma mkdir comma, okay, so touch to create the files, comma, okay, and some more commands. What are commands you want, what permissions you want to give to him? You can give all the permissions like this by using commas. But here you should have a space like this. After comma, you should have a space like this. Here, how many commands you want, how those many commands you can give it like this, your wish. That means that user can act to do only those kind of things, remaining files, remaining permissions he won't touch. Okay. For example, if you see below here something, this line, network, software, service, storage, okay, something, we had some few things right here. For example, if you give network, if we copy network here, okay, and if you give that command here, if you give it like this, that means in networking, what kind of like what commands we execute. For network, we'll have some networking commands. What commands you have for networking commands, all those commands will come under this networking. In order to give all the networking commands one by one, if you give networking, all the commands what are related to networking will be added to the Rakesh user. If you want software, you'll give comma space, and you'll give you the name of the thing which you want. Software means software like this. That means what commands we use for installing packages, to remove the packages, to update the packages, anything else, all those things will be those permissions, and those commands access you will get to the Rakesh user. So like that we restrict the things. Like that we restrict the things. Now one more person asked in the class saying that why we are using sudo for normal user, and why you are not using sudo for root user. That's a very good question. Okay, why means root can do anything else. He's the father of the house. Okay, remaining which one you create also, those all will be like child only. Those all are children. Okay, if they want to do something else, okay, any command you execute, okay, in front of that command you should use sudo, then only that command will work for any other users except root. Except root, any other user you use, you should use sudo in front of the user. Okay, then only those commands will work, because those commands, okay, we are editing, we are saving all the things in sudo ers file, right? All these things we are doing in sudo ers file, because sudo ers means in front of the command you should use sudo, then only the command will execute. Otherwise it will say you saying that no permissions are there, okay, you cannot execute the command, okay, you'll get some random messages. If you use sudo and the command, you can do anything else that you wanted. Few commands will work, very basic commands will work without sudo, but any other commands, okay, you should use sudo only in front of the command. Okay, same like this is for root. Okay, same like that. If you go a little bit down, here we had one more thing for group. Allow people in group will to run all commands. Here also same. How you added here, same like that. Here you'll give the name of the user, so name of the group, and what permissions you want to give to the group. You'll just give the permissions here. instead of giving like these permissions to every user, once if you create a user here, no need to touch this file line again and again. You'll create a group, give the permissions, and come out of this file. We had commands with us: user add, create a user, g password -m, give the username and the group name. It will attach easily. Instead of coming and editing this file and giving all these permissions, it's a lot of headache to us. Okay, same how you added here, same for your group also. Same, whatever group name you want, you give all the permissions here. So automatically you'll get everything else like this. Okay, so I'm not saving this file, some important file, right? So that I'm coming out of this file, quit and quitting. Okay, so this is the thing. So if you want to show me like example for that, okay, I told you some about sudo. Somebody asked me about sudo, right? So if you see here, what should I do? Let me go back to from root user to EC2 user. Let me go to EC2 user. So EC2 is also a normal user. Okay, it's created by AWS in the backend. That means for that also we had some permissions. So root only will execute. In root only can execute any command without sudo. Except root, any user you use sudo only. Let me come out of this. If I exit, okay, from root user to I switch it to EC2 user. For example, if I want to update the server, for example, okay, this is the command what we use to update generally. So if I give update and enter, see it told something like fail to upgrade. Okay, see here, you need root to be a perform this command. So except root, nobody can update this server because you are in EC2 user. But for this user, we had permissions to update. But if you give like this, it won't execute. Same command. Okay, in front of that, use sudo space enter. See, now it will update automatically. If you give y and enter, it will update the server. So like same command, if you give in root, okay, it won't ask any sudo. It will execute whatever it wants. Whatever command you give it, it will do everything else. Okay, but this user, normal user, you should use sudo in front of the user. Otherwise, it won't execute. It won't execute. It will not show you saying that I don't have permission kind of thing. Nothing but like gate pass kind of thing. Sudo is a gate pass. Without the pass, nobody will enter, allow you to enter inside to that, to do that action. Okay, so clear, everyone?
Hi,
Okay.
Rakesh.
Yeah, hi.
Yeah. So using the sudo command, if we can do anything using sudo command, then what is the
Yes.
use of root user?
So any means what permissions is given to you only.
What?
If I give
Okay.
a command saying that to update the package, I give you some permissions to update the package. That means if you, without using sudo, if you execute that command, it won't work. That the
Why?
command should work.
It must have to work now because
Won't
already
work.
is why?
It
Because
won't
already
work.
the permissions are
The
given to
scenario
me.
is like that. The design like
Okay.
the design of the Linux is like that.
Okay. So even
Okay,
though
you should use sudo in front of that.
sorry, what?
You should use sudo in front of that. Otherwise, it won't work.
Okay. 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 Okay.
Okay, you should, because it should show some difference between a normal user and a root user, right?
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what. So anybody, anything else? So understood, right, everyone?
Yes, Rakesh, understood.
Yes, sir.
Okay, cool,
Yeah,
cool, cool.
Rakesh,
Okay.
I have one question, Kalanya.
Yeah, Karan, yes, please go ahead.
If I want to add a user without using user add, so how can I add that?
No, we cannot. We don't have any UI, only command line.
Okay, we cannot edit the etc passwd file where we are going. We
No,
go inside that file and write it down.
it won't.
It won't
So
work.
if no, it won't work. If you add that user inside that user like password file, you added that username. Okay, so when you give that user add a name of the user, it will update in the kernel level. Kernel level means in the brain of server. Okay, so it will go like different ways will go inside the server and it will update wherever it want. If you edit the file, the editing will be there inside the file only. You cannot use that user. Not only one
Okay.
place, like different places that should be updated. It won't update.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So anyone, anything else?
Yeah, sir, Nitish, sir.
Yeah, Nitish, yes.
Yeah, sir. I have created one group, and in that group, nearly 10 users was there, and somehow I deleted that whole group. What about the 10 users in that group, sir?
So they won't have any access. They will be idle until unless again you give permissions. They will be idle.
Yeah, okay, sir.
Okay. Okay, guys. Then if you don't have anything
Sir,
else, we'll end up.
one more question,
Yeah.
sir. So,
Yeah.
unfortunately, I deleted the group. So I want to do the rollback of the changes instead of manually adding those users to the specific group. So do we have any rollback changes to the specific operations?
No. No, like Windows, we don't have any recycle bin here. Like Windows, we don't have any recycle bin.
Okay, so like now, like commit just confirmation, something like do we have any setup before deleting any operations?
See, generally, no one will have all the access. Like minimum, like it's a restricted thing. Only it means like high level people only will have the access to touch the servers. Those level of servers, like very confidential things, like test and dev servers and testing servers are very light. Everybody will have access, but production and remaining things for only a few people will have access. Okay, so in those scenarios, if you want to create a directory itself, okay, they will have a process. They will decide and they'll tell you like what things should be done. They will have a ticket on that. Okay, at least for deleting also we'll have a ticket. So however you want, you won't touch that. You will not have permissions to touch however you want. That will be very much careful. They won't give for junior level first thing. Okay, only high level people will do that. Also they will be in the call. Okay, to take any backups, to delete anything else, anything also. Okay, they'll have like high level call. Everybody, including client, also will be there. So then only they touch the production servers. For normal dev or test is a normal thing. Everybody will have access. They can do anything else. If something lose, also nothing will happen. But production, it's something goes wrong, immediately they will fire the things.
Do we have how do we take the backup of the group before deleting it?
We don't have any backup. We don't see. That's what you won't touch that generally.
Right.
You
Suppose we got the situation. I want to delete it. Before deleting, just imagine the situation. I got the privileges to delete it. Before deleting, I want to take the backup. So any
See,
kind of
then if they give ticket, you'll go to the users list and you'll capture all the data. You'll open that file. Okay, what things were given to the users, you'll take the backup of the thing. Backup means copy and paste on a WordPad or somewhere as an Excel sheet. Okay, and you'll save the data. Then you'll delete those.
okay, got it. Thank you.
Okay, because from inside a server itself, we don't have any backup. Okay. Okay, then. Any doubts, guys, or else we'll meet in tomorrow's class.
Rakesh, apart from that, Rakesh, like I just want to check, like we'll be having this time is 8 o'clock only, right? It will not change, right? Further.
Yeah, 8 to 9 for now. Maybe if that changes, will come like 1 hour before, like 7 to 8.
Okay.
Mostly 8 to 9 only.
Okay, yeah, because
Yeah, we
I
can
joined.
continue.
Yeah.
We'll go with 8 to 9.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, so tomorrow, what are the topics that you are planning to cover it, Rakesh sir?
Tomorrow I'll talk about like package managements, how to install packages and all those stuff. What are the ways we have? Okay, and all those things. Okay.
Yeah, okay, yeah, thank you.
Okay, guys. Then bye.
Yeah, bye, sir.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thank you, Rakesh.
Thank you.
Yeah, yeah, bye.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.